adjournment.
Thanks very much. Thanks to UDC for inviting me into the ACLU. You know, I think Hope's questions were exactly right. Is this metro search policy necessary, and is there a sound criteria for it? And fortunately, those questions were answered a couple hundred years ago when our founding fathers decided what the criteria for searches would be, and decided that no unreasonable searches not supported by probable cause and a warrant would suffice. And that's really the criteria that should play in all government searches. And of course, there are exceptions that have developed over the years to that. And one at play here that I'm sure the law professor will get into is the special needs exception. But here what we have is a special needs exception that doesn't have a special need. And you don't have to believe in ACLU. Metro Police Chief Michael Taborn has said that there is no specific or heightened threat at issue here, merely an effort to vary Metro's security posture. And that does not qualify as a special need. And you know, one thing to keep in mind is you know, this argument that this is minimally intrusive. And you know, I think if you look around, you'll see very few people buy or use transparent bags or see-through bags. You know, most people have covered bags because they don't want people looking in to see what they carry. And it's not just criminals who carry opaque bags, but most of us, because we have, you know, plenty of things that we carry around that are not criminal, but we would rather not see spilled out in front of other people willy-nilly whenever the government decides they feel they have the right to do that. You know, this isn't a minor inconvenience. This is actually a violation of people's privacy. And interestingly, that, you know, one of the factors that comes into it, and again, I think the professor will talk about, that has come up in previous cases is the idea that because the search is being conducted in public, it is somehow less intrusive, where I think most people who have something private would think that revealing that in a public place where anybody walking by can see it would be actually more intrusive. And finally, it's simply not effective. You know, and I think my co-panelists Jim Harper and Jim Wedick will get into this in more detail, so I won't steal their thunder. But you know, this type of security approach is what we at the ACLU call security theater. It's merely meant to look good and to make people feel as if the government is doing something to address their security. But there's nothing to indicate that this would actually be an effective methodology. And in fact, what it will do is draw resources away from more effective security measures like real investigations based on evidence and logical leads. So, you know, I think answering Hope's questions of is it necessary and is there a sound criteria, I think we can rely on what our founding fathers thought the sound criteria should be and require reasonable suspicion, reasonableness, probable cause, and a warrant before the government can search our private property. Thank you.
I can defer to you, or
it's your choice. I don't.
how about we hear?
Okay.